Hi, so today we're going to talk about the differential association theory. It was developed by Edwin Sutherland, and he had the assumption that deviance is behavior that is learned through exposure to others who are engaging in that same behavior. He argued that behaviors take on different meanings based on the groups by which they are associated. An example of that can be gangs. They take actions necessary to prove their allegiance to the group. Murder, sometimes they see deviant behavior as justification to be included in part of the group and not necessarily illegal behavior. Differential association theory is also the notion that behavior is learned through that exposure, and the likelihood of engaging in that criminal behavior is directly linked to an individual being repeatedly exposed to it. So someone who has grown up in a house that has had lots of exposure to gangs or to violence is likely to repeat that behavior. That might be the reason that young children in homes where high crimes happen grow up to repeat that behavior. It's also true that if you have social bonds that are tight, a student or a child is more likely to see that modeled behavior and participate in it. I think there was a statistic that showed that young men who witness domestic violence are 3 times more likely to grow up and be a batterer to women and or children. So there were a couple of examples that I'd like to talk about. If you've ever seen the movie Catch Me If You Can, I think that's a perfect example of how the dad starts to scheme and do some things in order to take care of his family, and he kind of is in some tax trouble. So he does some really deviant and deceptive things in order to get money. His teenage son is watching him do this, and so the movie is all about how this teenager realizes when he runs away from home, he can engage in the same kind of behavior that his dad did. I tried to find a scene that would kind of be an example for that, but I was unsuccessful. I did, however, find a scene about a gang about a guy that was a leader in a gang and how he sought out young children, got them to trust him, and then modeled some behavior. And because they were vulnerable and weak, they wanted to be accepted, they also participated in that same behavior. So here's just a little short scene I hope you'll enjoy, and it's about differential association theory. Thanks.